Your boy Trey back again, hit you with a video. Now this video goes out to all my people in Texas, Houston, Texas, San Antonio, Corpus Christi, all the surrounding areas, Beaumont, Katy, everywhere along the coastal region of Texas. And it is shocking to me that we did not receive the proper warning and notifications that we were supposed to, because we was thinking that this was just going to be some little minor storm when we first heard about it. Remember, it was just a tropical storm. And we know tropical storms, for those of us who pay attention to the weather and those signs, knows that tropical storms usually turn into hurricane systems or bigger tropical storms. And depending on how big and powerful they are, that's how we get the category from 1 to 4 to 5. But the news was reporting this as a tropical storm, and then you have to remember, when it was going along the coastal region of Brazil all the way up to Mexico, it was started slowly forming, and that's when it became a hurricane, when it got all the strength from the water vapors and the precipitation in the air, because you had this hot and cool air mixing together, and that what pretty much increases the thunderstorm, along with some other things that I'll get into in a second later. But as the storm was drifting up the Mexican coastal region, coming up toward America and ultimately making its way into the Gulf, that's when it got a lot of strength. But it was still only a category 2, because if I remember correctly, I remember CNN, MSNBC saying pretty much the same thing. But for some kind of reason, and I never seen this a day in my life, when that storm made landfall, it upgraded from a 3 to a 4 just like that. And we can pretty much say that this is a 5, because we done seen category 5 hurricanes that didn't even leave this kind of damage, and this have to be the worst hurricane in recent memory that we know of in Houston, Texas, in a long Texas period. And for those of you who have maps, who have radars, you can pretty much look and see on your maps, as I'm looking right now, that this storm is just sitting there slowly turning. Let me show you all, for those of you who all want to see, and you will see for yourself. You see how it's just sitting there? It's like it's just stalled out. And what it's doing, and the reason why it's sitting there like that, is because that's how it gathers strength. So evidently, either this storm is man-made, constructed by these damn devils, or this is just an act of God, which I don't believe is an act of God, because for that storm to do what it did, we had never seen that with any other hurricane. And the fact that it's just sitting there, just steady pummeling Houston, we have to start thinking with our heads. We should have learned from Hurricane Katrina what happened back in New Orleans. Excuse me one second. Had to plug my pad back up. But anyway, we should have learned from Hurricane Katrina in New Orleans that we cannot really trust the system. Not really, we cannot trust the system, and that the system will let you down every time if you believe in it. And not only have we seen highways underwater, Beltway 8, 59, 45, Old Spanish Trail, all these areas, from one end to the next, is covered in water. You have water in some areas. It rained 50 inches like it wasn't nothing, like in a day and a half, and that is unprecedented, unheard of. Some areas, people are literally houses underwater, and those waters have to be at least 20 to 30 feet high for some of these houses. You have people in nursing homes that just stuck there sitting in water. Matter of fact, I'll try to put a picture in. I wasn't able to get the video, but I'll put a picture in where you can see these old people in these nursing homes sitting in this water. And one thing you have to ask, how can this happen in the 4th largest city in America? Houston, Texas is the 4th largest city. First you have New York, LA, Chicago, then H-Town, Houston. So if these type of disasters can happen in Houston, it can happen anywhere. And it's sad to see my city, my original city, my hometown, underwater like that. And we should have took heed and learned from the past. See, that's one thing we have to start doing as people. We have to stop going by what the news say, because a lot of times the news say it's going to rain and it don't even rain. And then when they say it don't rain, that's when it rains. They say it's only 10% of rain, but we end up getting 80% or 70% of rain. You see what I'm saying? So what we need to do is start using our common sense, and learn from the past. Stop letting these people have us waiting like sitting ducks. You know what a sitting duck is? That's pretty much you just waiting out there in the pond for somebody to come blow your head off. Like you a stool pigeon. And that's how we pretty much being played, because there's no way these storms, this hurricane, just supposed to just sit over the city, just constantly turning, just not going anywhere. It's like somebody put the brakes on it and it just stopped, and it's coming down with even more rain. So not only are the people that's already in trouble going to be in worse trouble, but for furthermore people, because you have people coming out of state trying to reach these people. You have people coming from all over with boats trying to reach these people, but you can only go so far. You see what I'm saying? And most every road is fully underwater. You have to have boats to get there, or some high-powered watercraft to even get there, if you got a helicopter or something like that, for those who able to, do those type of things. But at the same time, we have to start using common sense. We have to stop looking at the news and learn from the past. See, that's why we always make the same mistakes, because we never learn from the past, and we put our trust into these people who we was taught to be blind obedient to. Blind obedience is pretty much that you just follow someone and you listen to them and you take what they say in without questioning. It means you do not question nothing they say. You just follow. If they say jump, you jump. If they say run off this building, you run off the building. That's what you call blind obedience, when we have been taught and programmed to think that way. But we have to start thinking outside the box, unless we're going to be trapped in a box, and that box will be your house underwater. Just imagine you going outside and you look over your neighborhood and it's nothing but water, where it was walkways and sidewalks and grass and cats and dogs running around. Now you have alligators running around. Now you have snakes, water moccasins, all kind of little creatures. Everybody trying to strive and get to safety. Even the animals want to survive too. But you have infested water, and the water is like a grayish green color, which lets you know one thing. What happened? Okay, let me explain something real, very simple, and you need to really take heed. That water is toxic. You have people getting this water on them, and they're getting boils and breakouts. You know why? Because all that mess that's in the Gulf, where they had the oil spill years ago, all that precipitation, all that stuff that they didn't put out there in the Gulf, this core exit, I think 7254, where it takes so many years for it to just dissipate, what they call half-life. You have all these chemicals that they use out there in the Gulf from this oil spill that we had, and all that goes into the atmosphere. And what happens, that travels with the clouds, and whatever it goes and rain down on, everything that was in that Gulf and that lifted up that precipitation vapor will come to where you at, if that make any sense to you all. So it's just like if somebody pollute the water in Florida, you stay in Mississippi, and a hurricane starts in Florida. It's got up all the screen, which means it's got up all the water vapor, all the precipitation it can, and whatever in that water system in Florida will ultimately be dumped down in Mississippi. That's how it works. And the same if it was California and a hurricane was traveling down to Mexico, everything that's around that California region will be ultimately dumped somewhere else. That's how it do it. That's how it works. So we have people not only trapped and hungry and drowning, we have people also getting sick from this toxic chemical. So you really have a toxic storm. In other words, you have what you call a Frankenstorm. Nobody want to call it what it is, but we need somebody to sound the bullhorn, because that's exactly what it is. It's a Frankenstorm. Man-made, scientifically made, concocted storms to drive the people inwardly. That's what we need to understand. See, from what I see and from what I ain't gonna say prophesy, because I'm not trying to get on here and sound all better than thou and all this, but from what I see, all the coastal regions will be underwater within, I'll say, 30, 40 years. It's hard to accept that, but it's the truth. It's the reason why we seeing this type of stuff along the coast, especially New Orleans. And New Orleans was flooded out, and they didn't even really put it on the news. You can go back and research. It was, matter of fact, earlier this month, I think around August the 10th, August the 11th, New Orleans was flooded out. And the media had a blackout on it. They wouldn't say anything about it. Now, why is that? And the same thing pretty much with Houston, where they telling you it's 20, 30 inches in some area. But how can 20, 30 inches be high as your roof? How can 20, 30 inches from where you be driving on a beltway and on a freeway, the water be all the way up to the sign? You know how high that is? Look, I'm 6'4", and trust me, that is way taller than me. Way tall. You talking about 30 feet deep. So if it rained that much, where did all this water come from? What's wrong with the drainage system? Now they're saying most of the pumps are out. Now they're trying to give us the New Orleans scenario, where you have so many pumps Like you have 121 water pumps, and they saying the water pumps are overwhelmed. Okay, so out of 120, we only have 20 that works. That don't make any sense to me. I don't think it should to you all also. And you have to remember something. This storm was formed about the same time Hurricane Andrew was formed back in 1992, 25 years ago, August the 16th. And it's quite ironic that Hurricane Andrew 25 years ago was formed on August the 16th, and also Hurricane Harvey was formed on August the 16th. What are the coincidences of that? That's pretty strange. But anyway, what we need to do as a people, because there's a lot of people can't get out. You can't get out even if you wanted to. What we need to do from here on out is take heed. You know, if you choose to stay on these coastal regions, you have to be prepared. You have to be warned. Have you not seen these movies? You know, they slowly making everything come to life. You know, we just too blind and too sleep and too enjoying this so-called entertainment to see reality for what it really is. But trust me, it's going to be worse times. Like Tupac said, it's going to be some times, you know, it's going to be hard to smile. You're going to see a lot of strange things. But no matter what you see and what you encounter, you got to keep your head up. Pretty much that's what it is. And we have to learn to start thinking for ourselves, start doing our own research and studying. And you will see it for what it is. Now, I can't sit up here and break everything down like a meteorologist can, but all I can tell you is that we've been lied to, and that if you will do a little research, you can pretty much see that this is not a normal storm, and it will get worse, because they looking for this storm just to hang over Texas. What hurricane we know did that? Just hang over any area for days in, days on out. You know, just sitting there. What you trying to do? But anyway, I just want to hit y'all with this video, and to all my people in Sugar Land, Katy, Houston, all them areas, if you can leave, if there's some kind of way out, please get out of there while you can, because it's going to get worse, and the rain will continue to fall. As I'm looking at this radar now, we have rain right now, and for those of you who are in Chicago, it's raining right there, ain't it? And also Kentucky, Louisiana, Florida, South Carolina, North Carolina. You have this whole system pretty much all along the coast and going right up through where the Mississippi River at, which, because the water keeps the strength. That's why you see that pattern like that. You need to understand that. But anyway, y'all be safe, y'all be careful, and if there's a way that you can get out of Houston, please get out while you can, because it will get worse before it get better. It's been your boy Trey. You like, subscribe, stay blessed, stay vigilant, stay cautious, stay aware, and don't believe the hype. I'm out.